Welcome to Infinite Wellness, where you will find everything health, wellness, and consciousness. I am your host, Noelle Agape, and today we are here with such a treat, guys. I am so excited for you to hear Tamara Hunter's story, because she is the first global impactor, and she is a cancer survivor. She is truly a divine messenger and a gift to the world. Guys, I just want you to know that you are in for the biggest treat today, because she is going to bring you pure divine light. She is a cancer survivor. She's working on Chemo Buddies for Life, and she's bringing her gift to the world as a messenger, healing cancer, healing just on the highest vibration of love. Welcome, Tamara. How are you?
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I'm humbled by that intro, number one, and I'm doing awesome. I'm grateful to be with you, Noelle. I'm just grateful and humble to be on your show.
Well, thank you for being here. You are a gift to the world. So tell us a little bit about you and your story, because your story is such a powerful, beautiful gift to this world. And I know that you just won the next Impactor. Congratulations. That's how we actually met. We were in the competition together. And what we didn't know was that we both live in San Diego, outside of San Diego, and she's outside of San Diego. I'm in San Diego. And we actually met in Chicago, which is kind of crazy, right? How the world brings us together. And so tell us about you. Tell us about your journey on the next Impactor. Tell us about surviving cancer and your gifts that you're bringing to the world.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was born and raised in San Diego. That, start there. And which is very interesting, because here I was born in Southern California. I was born to a second generation person, and I end up finding out I'm allergic to the sun. When I was born, my mouth wasn't formed correctly. I was that awkward kid, so I was that kid in school that had to sit underneath the little, they didn't even keep the doors open in the classroom. And so I had this headgear stuff on, and I'm sitting out there watching all the kids playing. And what that did, Noelle, is at a very young age, it taught me that life is an experience, and that I didn't feel sorry for myself at all. I enjoyed watching the kids play out there in the playground. I can see it right now, and I was like be celebrating the one that I knew that they were having a hard time going up the top of the slide and getting down. It was like, yes, good job. And at a very young age. And so then as life continues, life happens. I had a lot of life happening. My mom at a very young age, she had a breakdown. And so I was on a track to become a dancer, and I had to make some personal choices because of other family members that took me on a different journey. And through all the different journeys in my life, I was given opportunities to grow and learn and experience. And some people would call them tragedies or, challenges, but I saw them as opportunities, because I don't believe that anything is by accident. I believe, I'm a strong believer, and I don't talk about that a lot when I'm wearing my nonprofit hat, because, our nonprofit is one that we've developed, and I'll talk about that in a few moments, for those that are affected by cancer. And cancer doesn't discriminate. Well, life doesn't either. And so as I journeyed through my life, I've actually, been in a lot of the different boats that many go in, and then they try to find their way through it. They look for someone to be inspirational, and like yourself, and then be able to then find their way and their journey and move on. And I now, sitting in the chair I'm sitting in and winning the global next impactor, I made a choice when I entered to enter as myself rather than with my nonprofit, because some people did, as you know, entered as nonprofits. I chose not to, because of the fact that I figured, I'm at a point now where life has happened and I've gotten through it, and I am here to share with others they can too. And getting through things are not that we put it under the carpet and we hide from it. Sometimes we have to just face it straight on. Like with my kids, as a single mom, we'd been through a lot, and we escaped. We were underground, and one of my kids didn't even have shoes at the moment. And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, we're gonna get through this. And there was a deep-seated belief inside of me, how I didn't know at the moment. However, that's what life does. It gives you an opportunity to grow. We got through it. And now, as the next global impactor, I'm out there sharing with others that whatever their life is sharing with them and whatever they're facing, they can get through it. We can do this together, because that's what life is all about. It's connecting with people, like connecting with you, Noelle. Yeah, it was crazy. We're only down or up the street, and yet we met halfway across the U.S. in Chicago. However, that was by design, not by accident. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I see life. I just see it that way. So that's who I am. I'm a mom, a nana. I've had businesses. I have dogs. Just a person that's out there sharing a story, a message for those that are looking to be inspired.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And I really truly believe that that is your gift, right? And so what most people don't understand is that, we are out into the public. You have a show and I have a show, and we live this life, and we're all fancy at the next impactor at the finale, and we're on the red carpet and we're doing all that but life is life, right? And like you said, I'm a soccer mom, and my kids have 8 sports that I'm trying to juggle, and at the end of the day, you're giving back. And so at the end of all of your stuff that you have going on with life, you take every opportunity to give back, right? And so tell me about Chemo Buddies for Life, because that's really you and I are working together on that project, and you're the co-founder, the founder of it, right? And I just think it's such an amazing gift to this world, is that life just happens, and your inspiration through your story is so beautiful. You just persevere through everything, understanding that knowing behind the pain is our purpose. And so maybe talk about Chemo Buddies for Life, maybe talk about behind your pain is your purpose, and how you got to your purpose, because so many of our viewers are in the thick of it right now, right? And so many of our viewers don't understand. They can't see past the pain to get to beyond that, to understand that their purpose is there. But you embody that. You embody that with all that you are, right? So maybe talk a little bit about that and stepping into your purpose from the pain.
Thank you. And in fact, I grabbed something right now, because it's something that we all have that. I mean, I've been through the pain and found the purpose, and then another life lesson happens, and then you go through the same thing, and you're thinking, okay, to yourself, and I've thought to myself many times, okay, did I not learn what I was supposed to learn? Why is the darkest right now before the dawn? I know the dawn will come. And so before I go even into it, I just want to, there's this one thing that I always go back to, and that is, when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and when you want to smile but you have to sigh, when the cares are pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of cloud of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near, but it seems so far. So stick to the fight when your heart is hit. It's when things go wrong that you must not quit. And you see, that is something that I've held on to so much. And when I was diagnosed with cancer, the story is that I was one of 5 people in 4 generations through one family line that have heard those words. Far too many people are this day and age that you have cancer. And I had already heard them and experienced them from my hero grandfather. And that had been really hard. And then for my brother, my only sibling, and then my 19-year-old daughter. I then was diagnosed, and I thought, okay, I've been through this drill. I can do it. And it always is different. That's the message too, is that each cancer journey, each cancer cell even, it's always different. It's individual. And there's a lot of science behind that. There's a lot of thought behind it. Well, when I traveled mine, I had an allergic reaction like crazy. I was curled up in a ball and my face was on fire and I was asleep and someone woke me up. And that person ended up being the daughter of who became my very first buddy, my original buddy. And I call myself a co-founder because I give her credit because of the idea. And that was that we traveled our cancer journey together through our treatment. And our doctors and our nurses, they found inspiration. And they said that they knew when we drove onto the pavement. And I didn't understand this concept at first. I understand the bigger picture, but the words, the newer words, the frequency changed. I understand a lot of what's happening in the world and different dimensions, but the word frequency, and I'm like, frequency, and I was thinking TV, UHF and the old fashioned, television years, and I'm thinking frequency, and but they convinced us to look at this. So what happened was I started feeling this vision of people in the night crying out and saying, why am I feeling so alone? And I don't know that I can get through this. It's so huge. And all of this was happening at the same time. And my doctor just looked at me and he said, what are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? I want you to check into some studies. He knows my brain and how I work. And he says, there's concrete evidence out there that what you've got going on right now is unique and it needs to be shared with the world. And so when I started doing the actual research that it is documented in medical journals that the heart and the mind actually have something to do with surviving cancer. And the percentages of living longer because of it, I was all in. It was all in. It was like, okay. And that was the why, but the why behind the why, where I am right now, is my mother's casita. My mom was the last one of all five of us to find out she had one of the most painful cancers, which is multiple myeloma, known as bone marrow cancer. It's one of the blood cancers. And she had had an accident 34 years before. 6 of her vertebrae had been shattered. She had had 27 major surgeries. She was soldered, fused from the very top of her spine to the bottom of her spine, electrodes, Harrington rods, cages, the whole thing, internally rebuilt. She ended up with multiple myeloma and pneumonia living under my home. So she had to go to the hospital. They broke her ribs to bring her back to life. They didn't know she had bone marrow cancer. She ended up getting superbugs and not allowed to come back home. So they couldn't keep her in the hospital for that long, so they sent her to these places, and they were horrid. And I couldn't do anything about it because I was in active chemotherapy at the time. They would call me, and I'd hear her screaming, help me. Help me. And I couldn't go because I couldn't be around the superbugs, and I couldn't be there for her screaming. And so I was finally able to convince them to let her come home for the last 10 days of her life. However, I had to wear gloves on my hands because she still had the superbugs. So I couldn't even touch her. So when she passed, right before she passed, her brain came back and we talked. And she told me, Tamara, it's time for you to change the world. You're going to get out there and do this. And so every single day, I know that there are those people in the middle of the night that are crying out and alone. And I hear my mom. And it's like, I am not going to stop until we have changed the way cancer is done and no one has to face it alone. We've figured out a way to do it throughout the world, one person at a time.
Well, you are just such a beautiful gift, and I honor you so much. And your mom is with you every day, and you know that, right? And so you speak so much of my language on the frequency and the frequencies of, of love and coming from love, and that's what we teach here on this show, right? Is just be, you and I just had this conversation right before we got online, is that from our pain brings our purpose. And you know how connected I am to cancer as well, that I lost my hero, my grandfather, right in front of me. And, then my dad died of a heart attack. And then my mom had cancer, and she's now 12 years cancer free because of changing of lifestyle, mindset. And one of my closest friends, I just did my episode with her, and she just got diagnosed with breast cancer, and everything is mindset and mindset, right? And so what I teach on this show is making the mind body connection, and that we are bigger than the disease, and anything that is any disease in your body is just a disease within you and your soul and you within your spirit, right? And so
Right.
Not to say, death is inevitable, and that's
Right.
it is inevitable. All of us are here on a journey for a short amount of time. We don't know how much time that we have, right, given. And we also can change the length of that by the mindset, by what we put into our body, by altering the states of being, by nutrition, everything that we can do with science. We can bring science and spirituality together and to extend lives. So tell us maybe about, because you are so amazing with this, with making the mind body connection and being in tune with your body, and understanding how health and wellness actually ties into cancer, which you would think, cancer is sickness, and so on the opposite is health and wellness, but you can take a sickness and bring it to a healthy state of being, right? Because you're living proof of that. Tell us maybe about
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in fact, that's what is so exciting about what we're doing with Chemo Buddies. And it's really important to understand that the reason for the name is not the method of the treatment. It's where the two original buddies met. I did go traditional. Would I again? I don't know. But at that very moment in time, with what I had, the facts, that's what I did. But it doesn't matter. Traditional, alternative, adjunctive. Our stand is have a buddy. And so we have the proof. We have seen people that doctors are like, how are you still here? Stage fours that they're, and not to be sarcastic, they want to figure it out. And remember that it was my original doctor that said, are you going to do anything about this? And our nurses are biggest fans because of the fact that they know they're the front line, they're in the front line of this, and they know that those people that give up, those people that feel isolated and alone, those people that are depressed, that is a whole different frequency, a level, and they are giving into it. And it's the reality of it is that we can rise above it. We can take the belief within us and we can let that energy flow, and so that we can bring in the laughter and the art and the music and the dance and the love and the light, and each with each other. And I say, holding hand in hand, even if it's through the digital means, and that we together, we're going to have our ups and downs, but it's when someone's up, maybe someone's down, and vice versa, and you help get through it, because cancer doesn't have to define us. It doesn't define me. This is only a part of my chapter. It's a chapter in my book, the book of Tamara. And what I'm helping others right now, and what we're teaching through our nonprofit, is that health and wellness, and we have a lot of different tags, like healing through music, healing through nature, healing through humor, and it's like, then back it up. Have you had your daily dose of laughter today? It's like, okay, we can do this. And then I tell our buddies, I say, be kind to yourself, show that self-love, because we wash everything through humor, hope, and heart. And sometimes the best thing we can do for ourselves, is okay, I love myself. And today is a pajama day. That's okay. But I'm going to feel good about it. I'm going to put those jammies on that I love. They feel great. I am going to make my bed and so that it feels good when I get back into it. And that is showing ourselves that self-love and getting through that day and not feeling bad about it. Finding that light within ourselves and giving ourselves that grace to say, you know what? I'm healing. I'm healing through my clean jammies.
I think that even not even pertains to cancer, right? But that pertains to every single person in life, right? At some point, we all need some kind of a healing. We all need to look within. We all need self-care. We all need self-love. And I preach that, right? I mean, I preach as much as you can, every decision I make, and this is, your power center in your third chakra, every decision I make is from self-love, self-care, and self-respect, right? And so when you're making those decisions, whether it's from sickness or from health, you're making a choice to be a better version of you, whether you're in the depths of hell in the midst of cancer, or it's your job is driving you crazy in life. We can take these things that you're teaching, we can take them out into everyday life and just say, I need to love myself a little bit more today. I need to heal a little bit today. It's okay to just have peace today, right? And allowing ourselves grace. I think that that's the biggest thing, right?
Right. Absolutely. Well, I have the show that you were mentioning is the Service Hero Show. And I started that to help the buddies to understand that there is a reason. There's so much bad news out there. I mean, Noelle, you know it. And you can either give into it or you can say, no, not today. I'm not going to buy into that today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the beauty of the day. And so started the Service Hero Show. And what I do is tell everybody, we have a service hero inside of us. And sometimes that service hero needs to show up for ourselves because what? Look in the mirror. And if you're saying, wow, today is really one of those days, then you can just say, okay, I'm here to serve. How can I do that? And it might be like in my case, I love movies. I love books. I love music. And so I would serve my soul with those things and raise the frequency, raise the vibration, raise the energy and light. And then by the end of the time, it would be, wow, I'm feeling good. It's like, okay, no issues.
So I just want to repeat what you just said. I want to serve my soul and raise the vibration and the energies to light. If everybody could just hear that one sentence, that would be such a gift to the world, right? And so if we all stopped and served our soul a little bit more and raised the vibration of ourselves within us to light, that's raising the vibration of the planet. So thank you. I honor you for that. That's such a beautiful gift you just offered everyone. So let's talk about your fame and success. And I mean, gosh, you're like this corporate guru that like now is a mom and a grandma, and then you're like into service and you're making this massive impact. You've won this competition that was such a crazy journey for all of us, right? It was a crazy ride, but it was beautiful experiences that we've ever embodied. We truly met each other for the first time all in Chicago, and we were like a family, right? It was just, oh my gosh, we've never met you, but our souls have known each other for lifetimes. That's what we feel like, right? And so since the Next Impactor, you are the first winner of the Next Impactor. Let's talk about moving into pain. Now you moved from pain, you went into service, and now you're taking it into your purpose, right? And so there's the sage, right? You were in the pain, you were learning the experiences, you embodied the lessons, and you brought it out into the world, and now you're on a global level, much bigger than you've ever been in your entire life, and you're bringing your that into your passion, which is your purpose, right? And so living your purpose as a global impactor, and me, I say this all the time, there's two reasons why is my why, and it's my children and making global impact on this world, period, right? And so my kids are my priority and making a global impact. For you, I believe it's the same thing. It's your family and making global impact, right? And so how have you managed all of this and managed to stay so beautiful and light? And you're just so joyful. Yeah, and I said this before, but it's truly, you like embody the fairy energy, right? You bring us joy. When everybody speaks to you, you just bring us joy. How do you do that while trying to be on camera, while being on 6 different shows, while getting pulled to write a book, while doing all of this stuff, and then, making global impact and staying in joy.
We talked about this before we went live, and that is, life has a way of teaching us lessons. And in my life, I've had so many of them that in the very beginning, it was like, okay, another one? Really? And then what it did is it taught me to navigate through in a way that is, the lessons give us an opportunity to say, how am I going to show up? And I was such a planner. I mean, I before the computers, the Franklin planner, the Morgan planner, whatever you want to call the different ones, and I would plan it out. I block my time. I do all of this, and then life would show up, and it would be like, okay, what is the what is the immediate need? And so now, I literally kind of have that ingrained in me that, okay, I'm showing up for this. I block that, this opportunity to spend time with you. Okay, I'm not thinking about anything else. I am here in the moment. This is the moment in time that I am designed to be in at this very second. And I am thoroughly into it, 100%. I'm not pre-planned. I may have just, like, I may think beforehand, okay, if I need to remember this or that, I may have it on a dry board that's over in my, my eye line. However, I like to just be prepared.
Me too.
What I have been doing is, it's kind of taking that attitude of, all right, what is the greater thing that I need to do today? And everything is trumped when either there's a immediate need for one of our buddies or a family member, because you've got to understand where your priorities are. And that's why I loved what you were saying about your kids and, changing the world. Well, changing the world and being out there for the world is a huge responsibility. However, the reality of it is that I know that I'm a tool, in a greater plan, and it's not about Tamara Hunter. However, I am Tamara Hunter, and so it's an interesting balance that it's hard to explain. However, the greatest explanation would be that it's this moment in time is the most important to me, and I want to be all in. I want to be all in, and then I go to the next moment in time, and I try to prioritize what those moments in time in the day will be, and then not to have guilt, because guilt is a negative emotion that no one needs. I don't want to play into it. And another thing, I don't really like drama, so I do everything I can to just say, pass on by, not interested. We're in it for the good, and we can be here for the good. We can be here for each other, but we don't need the drama. So,
oh my gosh, if we could just take those, great little life tips of just being present in this present moment. One, that is one of the greatest gifts that we have, is living in this present moment, right? The past is gone and the future is we're creating now, right? And just drama, right? And separating from, I always say, detox yourself from the toxicity. I say that all the time, right? Because in this world we live in, there's so much drama, and especially the world that you and I live in, right? We can, the TV world and the radio world and whatever it is, there's a lot of drama in our world. You and I choose not to engage in it, right? We choose to come from love. We choose to come from light. We choose to literally see the good in almost anything, right? And that's a very rare gift. And so I want to honor you for that, because you really truly do just kind of negate the bad and understand that it's there, and it's there but you have a choice. And I say that all the time. The law of polarity is there. It's health and sickness, fear and love, hate and love, or anger and being in joy, right? And so we get to choose what avenue, because life is always going to show us that there's an opportunity to be at the lower end of the vibration, but we get to choose the vibration that we want to be in. And you are always, always, always choosing the higher vibration. Even if you're overwhelmed, even if you're frustrated, the little that I know about you, you compartmentalize and you get it done, and you get centered and you find your way back to you, right? Which is such a big gift to the world. If you could give like some life tips to people that have gone through as much as you are going through, or going through the pain right now, whether it's sickness or whether it's cancer or whether it's just stress in life, maybe just give some key tips to some of our viewers that can help them get through the day. Because, I always say, find your joy, whatever it is, whatever brings you joy, find that, right? And go to that space, whether it's petting your dog or going for a walk or working out or spending time with your children and your grandchildren, whatever brings you joy, find that. And if you can't find joy, then go within, because you're looking for the external source, right? And so what would you say about finding your inner joy, because you live in that?
Being a shut-in, a bubble kid, if you will, when I was growing up, I learned to cope maybe in a lot of different ways than others would. And so I do think in terms of more the going in rather than the going out. Some people might go for a walk and get their vitamin D. I had to stay away from the vitamin D. It doesn't like me very much. I had to take it in another way. So what I do is, it's a very simple, I keep things simple, and that is, I count my many blessings and I name them one by one. And then I count my many blessings and see what my Maker has done. And then I count them. And if it's something like, I have clean water, I have a roof over my head, I have clean pajamas, I have a bed to lay on, I count those blessings. And then I choose to look at the fact, I choose not to dwell on the things like my doctor said I won the lottery for the most side effects when I was going through cancer. And I now see that as a blessing, because I can count that as one of my blessings, because I can have maybe a little bit more of an understanding and empathy for those that are facing those three words right this moment. If you're one of them and you're saying, wow, I don't know that I can do this. Oh yeah, you can. Trust me. Count your many blessings. And if it's as simple as, I am breathing at this very moment, that's a blessing. And that's how I get through it. And I hope that this can at least be one way that someone else might be able to also, because sometimes, and if you end up doing it and you're bawling through it, you're like, oh, okay, my master blessing, what is it? That's a good exercise. And I always ended up then, like, there's one other, keeping it simple, if by chance you meet a frown, do not let it stay. Quickly turn it upside down and smile that frown away. No one likes a frowny face. Change it for a smile. Make the world a better place by smiling all the while. And those would be the two things I do in a way. And until I could bust up saying, okay, aren't we silly, Tamara? Okay, let's go on.
That's Dr. Seuss. That's Dr. Seuss, right?
Pardon? It's a child's rhyme, and I don't know. I should find out. It's a song that my kids would sing in like nursery and such things.
I love that. Well, I honor you so much, and you bring so much joy to the world. And thank you for being you, and thank you for living as your truth and standing in you, because, we need more people. You are a spiritual warrior, and I honestly, you see adversity as a reason to get through to the other side, right? And there is nothing that is going to stop you from your purpose in any way. And regardless of however that looks, you truly are a spiritual warrior. You're embracing every aspect of life, and the good and the bad, right? And that is, we could all learn that lesson from you, is that within the good is the bad, and within the bad is the good. But at the end of the day, you get to choose where you want to be, right? And you always choose good. You always choose service. You always choose your gift. and bringing that to the world. So I honor you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being you. So what's next for you, and what is coming next? Because so much has been thrown at you in the last couple of months. What is coming next? And I know that you're working on a book, right? And
Yes,
so
yes, a couple of
book is
them.
coming out.
Yeah,
I know
actually,
you have a show now, but it's actually moving to a higher platform. It's going to be a TV show, right?
yes, it will be. We're working on that right now, and actually, it will be probably another show. So we're working on that. Yes, 3 books that I'm involved in, and then at least, and then the biggest thing is that, and thank you for joining us, is that we are, I'm so excited. Last year, look for opportunities, guys. They're around everywhere. Things were not necessarily falling into alignment for me to do a typical gala or fundraiser for our first one last year for the nonprofit I have. So we ended up doing a 24-hour streaming live event, which the way we did it, I was told, was the very first time it's ever been done. Still not 100% sure, but we're doing it again. We're doing a second one, and it is because of winning the next impactor. Noelle's involved. Many of the impactors are. Many others from last year coming back, and we are going to have an international streaming live event full of entertainment, inspiration, stories, how to heal, how to connect, how to be inspired. I'm so excited about it. It's just like, okay, pinch me. And that is taking place on Giving Tuesday. And I like to highlight and get involved in things to help raise, if you will, the enlightenment of the world. And Giving Tuesday is one of those days. It is the largest philanthropic day and movement that is out there. Many people have heard about the United States Thanksgiving. Then you have Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Now we have Giving Tuesday, and this year it is December the 3rd. So save the date, everybody. Get involved. Noelle is, thank you for it. We are raising funds because we need to make this available for everyone. So find out more. Contact us. And I'm so excited about that. And then there's so much more going on. It's a year-long crown that I get to, wear as the champion, and I'm humbled by it, yet ready to serve, ready to get
So
out there.
deserving of it. You need to know that you are so deserving of it, right? And so I'm so excited for all that you're doing and bringing to this world. You're just a gift, and so anything that you're a part of, you got me. I got you, as they say, right?
So back at you.
Yeah. So tell us how our viewers, how they can get in touch with you, how they can be part of this amazing event on December 3rd, and how can everybody be, directed right towards you to gain your light and help in every way that they can.
Well, it's simple. First of all, just look me up, Tamara L. There's a few Tamara Hunters. So Tamara L. Hunter. You can go to our landing page right now, and it's chemobuddiesforlife.org. And here in the next few days, we are going to be turning on our event website, and that is cb4l.org. So chemobuddiesforlife.org. So cb4, the number 4l.org, cb4l.org.
Beautiful. And so thank you, honey. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you for giving your gift to this world. Thank you for showing us that we can live in joy regardless of the circumstances, right? And so thank you for being the messenger and bringing your beautiful message to this world. We honor you so much.
Thank you.
And to our viewers, know that you are supported, know that you are loved, know that if you live in joy and you live in gratitude on the other end of your pain, I promise is your purpose. We love you with all of our heart, and you are here. If you need support, reach out to us. There's people that are here to support you. If you want to go to noelleagape.com, go to noelleagape.com, and there's a ton of support things for you that are free, and you can get all the support you need. Reach out to us if you need anything on a higher level. We love you so much, and with all our gratitude, we have so much love for you, and thanks for the support. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.